Kelly Healey never imagined that at just 30 years old, she would be holding the title of Britain's youngest grandmother. As a mother of 5, she had always assumed that she would have at least another couple of decades before stepping into the role of a nan. But in August 2018, her life took an unexpected turn when she learned that her 14-year-old daughter, Skye Salter, was pregnant. The news hit her like a tidal wave, yet instead of reacting with anger, frustration, or disappointment, she made a decision that many parents in her situation struggle with. She chose compassion. She knew that nothing could change the fact that her teenage daughter was expecting a child, so instead of focusing on what went wrong, she decided to support her daughter through what was ahead. At the time, Skye was living with her father and stepmother in Cranford, West London, when she decided to take a pregnancy test. It wasn't because she had strong suspicions, but rather because she was about to get a contraceptive implant and wanted to be sure she wasn't already pregnant. It was supposed to be a routine check, just to be safe. But when the test displayed a positive result, everything changed in an instant. Shocked and confused, Skye was rushed to Alworth's West Middlesex Hospital for an ultrasound. What she heard next completely turned her world upside down. She wasn't just pregnant, she was already 36 weeks along. In just a matter of days, she would be giving birth. The option of abortion, which some might have considered earlier, was no longer available. There was no time for long deliberations or weighing options. Skye had to come to terms with the fact that she was about to become a mother. At first, she couldn't process the reality of what was happening. Just a few weeks earlier, she had been running around playing sports with her friends, completely unaware that a baby was growing inside her. She had missed her periods, but since they had always been irregular, she thought nothing of it. And now she lay there in a hospital bed, staring at the ultrasound screen as the sound of her baby's heartbeat filled the room. Everything became real in that moment. The heartbeat wasn't just a sound, it was a reminder that she wasn't just a teenager anymore. She was about to have another human being depend on her for everything. When Skye finally broke the news to her mother, Kelly, she braced herself for the worst. She had heard stories of teenage girls being thrown out of their homes for getting pregnant, of parents cutting ties with their daughters out of disappointment. She expected anger, maybe even rejection. But instead, Kelly did something that took her completely by surprise. She pulled her into an embrace and reassured her that they would get through it together. She didn't yell, she didn't lecture, she didn't demand explanations. She simply chose to be there for her daughter. Kelly had been a young mother herself, though not as young as Skye, and she knew firsthand the fear and uncertainty that came with an unplanned pregnancy. She understood that what Skye needed now was not punishment, but support. She needed someone to guide her through the challenges of becoming a mother while still being a child herself. As Skye adjusted to the reality of impending motherhood, Kelly faced a shock of her own. She was about to become one of the youngest grandmothers in Britain. At just 30, she still felt like she was in her 20s. She still enjoyed nights out dancing with friends and was often mistaken for Skye's older sister, not her mother. And now, suddenly, she was going to be called Nan. It was a surreal realization. She wasn't ready to be a grandmother, at least not in the way society expected her to be. People saw her with baby Bailey and assumed he was her son. When she explained that he was actually her grandson, she was often met with shocked expressions and disbelief. Even her own mother was only 48, making her one of the youngest great-grandmothers in the country. The entire situation felt bizarre, but Kelly embraced it, even if it didn't always feel natural. Of course, not everyone was as accepting. Society can be quick to judge teenage mothers, and Skye's situation was no exception. Some people whispered behind their backs, speculating about Kelly's parenting and whether she had somehow failed by allowing her daughter to become pregnant so young. Others assumed Skye was irresponsible, that she wouldn't be able to handle the responsibility of raising a child. But Kelly refused to let society's judgments define them. She had heard it all before: the gossip, the unsolicited advice, the criticisms. But at the end of the day, none of those people were the ones raising Skye or helping her navigate the challenges of motherhood. It was easy for outsiders to make assumptions, but only she and her daughter knew the truth of their situation. The journey wasn't easy. Skye had to learn how to balance being a mother while still being a teenager. She had to figure out how to function on little to no sleep, how to soothe a crying newborn, how to push through exhaustion while keeping up with school. There were nights when she sat on the edge of her bed, rocking Bailey back and forth, wondering if she was really cut out for this. But through every difficult moment, Kelly was there, offering guidance, reassurance, and a reminder that she was never alone in this. No one could prepare Skye for the reality of raising a child at 14, but having a strong support system made all the difference. Kelly's story wasn't entirely unique. In 2021, another young woman, Gemma Skinner from Amersham, Bucks, made headlines when she became a grandmother at just 33 years old. Her 17-year-old daughter, Maisie, gave birth, making Gemma another record-breaking young nan. Like Kelly, Gemma initially struggled with the idea of being called nan so early in life. The word carried a weight that she wasn't sure she was ready to bear. But spending time with her granddaughter changed everything. It wasn't about the title or the societal expectations. It was about family. Now at 36, Kelly reflects on the past 6 years with a mixture of shock and gratitude. Bailey, now 4, is a happy, energetic little boy. Skye, now 18, has grown into a confident young mother. She has faced challenges, but she has also proven that being a teenage mother doesn't mean your life is over. It simply means your journey takes a different path. Kelly still feels like she's in her 20s most days. She still gets mistaken for Bailey's mom, but she wouldn't change her journey for anything. She never planned on being a grandmother at 30, but sometimes life doesn't follow a script. What matters most is not the timing, but the love and support that surround a family. And for Kelly, that love is what makes all the difference.